Okay, everybody. Okay. I was trying to wait to have everyone come in. I didn't really give any notifications, so I'm just going to do this live. And as people come in, you guys can do the replay. I tried to get closest I could to the 10-minute mark. So let me go ahead and get the housekeeping out of the way. Everything that I state here is my opinion alone. This is the Copyright Act of 1976. It's for celebrity news reporting, teaching, and all that good jazz. Guys, if you can hit the like button on your way coming in, if you can go ahead and hit the like button on your way coming in, I would graciously appreciate it. You can also drop your comments. I would love to read them. I would love to hear the feedback. I'm just going to go ahead and do this show as if it was, people in here, and you guys can catch the replay. This is my review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, my other thing that I want to get out the way, I have other channels. And on my other video, my live I did today, I misspoke. It's not election and beyond. It's election vibes with an S. So election vibes, VIBES, and beyond on Instagram. I have a YouTube page, but I haven't really did too much on that. But I'm really trying to wait till I can get as close as possible to January the 20th. Because I just want to keep everybody abreast to what's going on in the election world with different policies, procedures, things that's going to change, will stay the same possibly. But the closer it gets to January the 20th, the more I will put more information out on election vibes and election vibes and beyond on Instagram. And I have a YouTube channel, and I most definitely am heavy on TikTok at Dear Retalk. So anywho, I want to go ahead and get into the review. First and foremost, baby, from what I can see coming next week, and we're going to get into all of that, but from what I can see coming into next week, and after that, baby, these people, when I tell you, I think their ratings may go back up because it's getting better now. For me, it's getting better. But let me go ahead and get my notes out because I did some notes, but I'm gonna go ahead and share screen because I want to, just let you guys hear. Let's see, I need to take that one off. And I want to let you guys hear. Let's see. This is.
Hey, show anything you got. What's anything you got?
Every other year you say I'm sorry and I didn't mean it. It's not true. And then you come back and you did.
Because I'm a dude. It's like dude code, and it's like bitches that we together. I'm not saying nothing about it.
Martell, we've never met together. And Martell,
you put up right after our
that's a lie.
Hey, you after me.
You smoking crack.
You know she too, right? You still.
Yeah, that wasn't common.
And I saw it in person. I saw it in person.
Ooh.
You nasty.
What I do, Martell?
You beyond nasty.
What I do, Martell? No, that's
Wait,
what he
stop.
said.
Hey, we're not about to address that. Don't even address that, please.
Okay.
I think that Martell should have never said anything that involved Tisha. I think dragging Tisha into that was a low blow.
Other than your significant other,
True.
who has shown up for you
way.
the most in this alleged friend group?
Nobody.
You said that. Mine is Martell. He showed me how not to leave my marriage for a shareable side chick.
I'm sorry.
He asked me, hey man, did Mel try to suck? This is nothing new. Martell accuses everyone else of cheating and lying. He's done it with Nell Fletcher. He's done it with Kimmy. He's done it with Mel, and now he's done it with me.
he had mentioned to go get some drinks or something like that. So that was my issue, to smooth it with the drinks.
I think that it's sad that because of that, he went to Marceau and Melody anything.
I wouldn't like a gesture like that. Let's get some drinks at a time that you're not doing too good.
You're accusing his friend of wanting his ex-wife.
I don't know what type of friends he's used to.
Why? Oh, you asked me that.
One of y'all gotta go, or both of y'all gotta leave.
I didn't Tisha when my boys, okay? What you talking about? You said I couldn't. Marceau, you know who she married? You think you was uglier than you are, better than you are. What the talking about?
You think you could?
Tisha got the bottom of the barrel.
And she kept.
Dude, what the?
And she said,
You're still ugly.
I saved you, babe.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Thank you.
Martell is absolutely dead wrong for talking about Tisha's history and involving her in the conversation. If they want to have a big D or little D swinging contest, they shouldn't do it in front of the women. I think it's just so crass.
I'm leaving.
Hey, I'm done.
How you leaving your own?
Hey, I'm done.
Bull. I don't really like all of this.
Destiny, I'm
Yeah,
done.
y'all. Well, that's all.
Lance said, hold on.
Hey, Lance, you're not gonna walk your girl to the
Destiny
car?
turn around quick as
Let's say peace out.
Sorry.
Come on, baby. Let me get you out.
I understand that Destiny is upset about this situation, but girl, you started this. Like that whole who hurt you the most, Destiny know Martell. So she had to have an idea how this was going to end.
Can't trust a liar.
That's weird.
Hold on,
That's
what you
weird.
say, Tisha?
Can't trust a liar.
Hey, baby girl,
It's only something you can just
I'm
wish
not
for.
lying about not one thing.
You lied on me.
Hey,
You just lied.
And see, this is my whole thing with this situation. My whole thing is exactly what Tisha said. Destiny knows Martell. So, but I don't think she thought Martell was going to say this. But the thing is Destiny, you and Martell, I'm not sure if you guys had a conversation about what was going to happen. I really don't know, because once you let that genie out the bag, you can't pull him back in. Once that bottle pops, you can't reel him back in. So you open up the cookie jar and he stepped out. It's like letting the genie out, and you can't let that genie back in. So you get what you get.
I don't be.
Martell cannot take ownership of his wrongdoings, and he wants everybody to agree with him. Even if he's wrong, he wants you to agree with him.
Your ass don't care about mine.
Martell acts like a woman, and then he'll start.
you the one acting like a whole bitch.
Don't
What
do
you
that,
talking
okay?
about?
See, I can take
Okay,
that.
I'm done. I'm about to go. I'm leaving.
I don't want you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm about to leave.
Martell,
Bye.
no.
Let me go be a mommy.
There we go.
I think Marceau and Martell are all the way out of pocket.
Most definitely.
Both of them.
But you should
need to be ashamed.
I didn't girl.
That's not the point. Tisha is catching all them strays because you like all that bullshit.
You said had sex with a guy in college?
I'm just saying the way he's
Okay, so you're talking to Marceau now, Kimmy. I can't expect you to act the way I would act, but if I'm sitting there and my homegirl, it doesn't matter if she's my sister-in-law or not, but if I rock with you and that's going down, the moment Martell opened his mouth and said he did whoop-de-whoop-de-woo with her, oh, baby, I'm standing 10 toes down. I'm going to push you. Hey, I got this. Well, who you think you talking to? First of all, come on, let's go. We're going to let them do what they do. But what you're not going to do is disrespect my friend. That's what you're not going to do. Everybody sat there, okay, Maurice come in like he always do, trying to pipe Martell down. But this is a different situation now. This is a different situation because Martell basically want to do some get back. He wants some get back after he heard what Marceau said about him. Now the gloves are off. And I stated this in my last video I did today with Miss Wanda. I said it's either Martell is going to let this go and let it lie, or he's coming back harder. And you guys will see later on. And I hadn't even seen the show. I just did my notes and everything after I got off. But I just know that's the type of person that those people, and it's not even a narcissistic thing, that's just the type of way those type of people are. So I understand Kim is trying to gather Marceau together now, but the time to do that is when Tisha was being made a fool of, when her name was being dragged through the mud. And even in that, and when I seen this last week, I'm like, something had to go down. So she did sleep allegedly, and I'm gonna say allegedly, but Marceau and Tisha both saying that's something that happened in college. So is it something that happened in college that you slept with his friend, or what he's saying that you had relations? I should say that had relations with him and the friend, or you just had relations with the friend. So I mean, I think it would be nice if they specify that a little bit better. But here we go.
Talking to her is collateral damage from you arguing with him.
He's trying to. That's why I told her to let's step away. But he's trying to get me to fight.
I feel you.
And that's not going to happen.
Even while you're saying no, he's hollering in her face and disrespecting her. She's catching the strays.
That's why I told her to leave.
Kimmy, don't be mad at me.
Hey, Martell, she's not gonna be mad.
This
is what Martell does.
What?
This is Martell. He gets sensitive and gets angry. You did.
I was giving the same energy as your brother was giving.
You got mad about the interview and then you went in.
I don't believe that Martell has the proof that he claims to have. And if he did, I think that Martell would have been used it. Like, these guys have been going round and round for close to 6 years. There's no way in the world that you're going to tell me that Martell has the restraint to hold something like that for 6 years.
I think that
it's always something.
They let a lot out today.
They could have kept that part in.
Okay, I want to state this before it goes too far. Maurice, you're stating that Martell doesn't have the restraint. Okay, and that's true. He's a hothead. But what you guys have to understand, and listen to what I'm saying, Martell knew to hold certain information because in his mind, he felt like you guys' relationship was salvageable. It was, y'all have this bond. He's even at the reunion when the question was asked, he could have put everything out. Martell still knows a lot of stuff. And the problem is at this point, if I were Marceau, if I were Maurice, and I'm going to go ahead and say Chris too. If I was you guys, I personally would just go ahead and just, let the chips fall away. Neither one of y'all wives are going to leave you. They're not. Whatever you guys were doing, have done, or whatever, put that stuff out, because baby, if it comes out and we hear it, it's going to be 20 times worse, because now the ladies have to deal with being just ostracized out in the public when it can be done behind closed doors. That's all I'm saying. Hey, you can keep it a buck.
How much is left?
I will not be played no more. So if you're going to talk about Martell, I'm going to talk about you too. But again, I got the facts. He going to make up.
It's a lot, Maurice. You good?
100%.
All right.
Like, this is what they do. They had like brothers type of fights.
Yeah.
Both sides have, been hurt over time. And this is years of build up, and this is the blow up from the build up.
If I'm lying about anything, take me to court. He loses respect for me, I'm gonna lose respect for y'all.
I don't have respect for you. I don't have respect, so you can show.
Okay. Hey, Tisha, if I was you, I would want to say it too.
So, Martell, you have another vehicle? Yeah? Martell has another vehicle. Okay,
I didn't
guys.
Tisha with my boys, okay? What you talking about? You said I couldn't. Marceau, you know who she married?
You think
you was uglier than you are, better than you are. What the talking about?
You think you could?
What you talking about? I got Tisha. Tisha got the bottom of the barrel.
And she kept.
Dude, what the?
And she said,
You're still ugly.
I saved you, babe.
Hey, what's wrong with you?
Thank you.
Ugh.
Martell is absolutely dead wrong for talking about Tisha's history and involving her in the conversation. They want to have a big D or little D swinging contest. They shouldn't do it in front of the women. I think that's just, it's just so just crass.
I didn't Tisha when my boys okay? What you talking about? You said I couldn't. More so, you know who she married? You was uglier than you are, better than you are. What the talking about? I couldn't. You are being silly. What you talking about? Tisha got the bottom of the barrel.
You guys keep hearing Marcel say, you think you good. You think you good. But see, the problem is, Destiny, you're saying that Martell should have had this conversation in front of the women. You open the door. Once again, you pop that genie out of the bottle. And when you pop them out, you want to put that genie back in the bottle and the smoke is already out. So you can't say, oh, I want you to go this way, but don't go so hot with it. You have to take some responsibility for this situation as well. So that's all I got to say.
And she kept,
no, what the?
And she said,
you're still ugly.
I saved you, babe.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Thank you.
Martell is absolutely dead wrong for talking about Tisha's history and involving her in the conversation. They want to have a big D or little D swinging contest. They shouldn't do it in front of the women. I think that's just, it's just so just crass.
I didn't Tisha when my boys okay? What you talking about? You said I couldn't. More so, you know who she married? You was uglier than you are, better than you are. What the talking about? I couldn't. You are being silly. What you talking about?
Okay, you know, for me, when I seen it last week on the preview, and once again, Destiny, when you stated that Martell is wrong for talking about or speaking about Tisha's history, what you should say is that Martell is wrong about lying or possibly lying. You are giving more ammunition to or more credence to what he's stating. You're saying talking about her history. Basically, you're not stating that he's lying. You're saying he shouldn't say anything. I think unless he has tangible proof, and I'm not saying it's not true, and I'm not saying it isn't. But at the end of the day, like, come on, y'all got to keep this stuff. You got to keep this stuff funky. You know, you can't. You can't.
What does it really symbolize to you?
Hold on a minute. I'm sorry. I went into another clip. But anywho, you have to keep this stuff funky. You can't really, be going into certain things like that and don't think that it's going to be repercussions. To think that it's not going to be repercussions. So anywho, let me go ahead and bring this particular clip. Before I bring the particular clip up, Tisha was at the jewelry store. She was looking at different diamonds and everything. And Marceau met her there. And so when he came in, she was talking about, once again, the wedding band. The same thing Ms. Wanda was talking about. And now she was talking about today when I did my live. And then Ms. Wanda was talking about it, or when she was on the show, it was, a big thing. For me, I look at it like this. A marriage, a wedding band, ring, paper, all those things are just fluff for me. You can have all of those things. If a man or a woman is going to go out, a wedding band, a wedding ring, and a piece of paper, if they're going to cheat, it's not going to stop them from cheating. Point blank in the period. If they're going to cheat, they're going to cheat. A wedding band is not going, and these days, to be honest, a wedding band, really, the women that want to deal with married men, and I'm not going to state allegedly, they look for those things. So I understand, Tisha, that you want to really, have this subtlety of the wedding band situation. But what you have to understand, the wedding band is the least of your worries. It's not. It's really the least of your worries. You have to be more concerned with what he will do. I mean, a wedding band is not going to stop him if he wants to cheat. But I understand symbolism for you. For me, it is what it is. I mean, my husband, he wears his, but if he doesn't, it's on him. I'm not going to stress myself about what somebody will and will not do, because anything that I want to know, I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to go to God. I'm going to like, show me what I can't see. And every time I've said that, I get my answer and then some. So anywho, I'm not on no soapbox. Let me go ahead into the next clip. And this is with Marceau and Tisha. Excuse me. They are, I'm sorry, my sinuses are still messing up. They are at the jewelry store and they're talking about this wedding ring thing. So here we go.
Symbolize to you.
The ring doesn't symbolize that much to me. It's a sign of obedience.
No, it's not.
It's a sign
of love. It is a sign that I made a commitment to someone. That's what it symbolizes.
Hey, do you think that people look at me and think he's not married?
Probably, yeah, because you don't wear a wedding ring.
So you think that people actually look at me and they don't know?
How would they know if you don't wear a wedding ring? I think it's time for Marceau to start back wearing his wedding band. I think that he's had it off for too long and he's getting a little bit too comfortable not, putting it on. And that also may add to people being disrespectful towards our marriage.
In the history of Scots, we're the longest tenured to your first wife marriage ever.
The past 7 years has been tough. This past 1 year was really tough. And so, we've had conversations about not being together and what does it look like. And I'm just happy that we're deciding that we love each other enough to try to figure it out.
We want to figure it out, but we got to be the people that we said we're going to.
Okay, before I go too far, and I don't expect them to go into, because they've never been that type of couple. I don't expect them to go into the intricate details. We would love for them to go into the intricate details of what brought them to that place, because it wasn't just about the naysayers and what they were saying on the outside, because you could shut all that stuff out. You could stop looking at social media and all those things. What brought you guys to the point where you were contemplating divorce? What brought you to that point? I understand that you're not going to give us all the nuts and bolts, but you can't just say, the last year has been the toughest and we spoke about not being together. Okay, hopefully, I'm hoping later down, or if they talk about it at the reunion, or Carlos asked that question, what brought you to the point that you guys had a real sit down about having a divorce? And I hope they be honest about that. That's what I'm really curious about. But here we go.
The one thing that I love about us and I loved about you, I remember I used to walk behind you and I would see how your shoulders, you always held yourself up real tall, even though you're short as hell, and how you carry yourself, right? And it's like no one can, knock that chip off your shoulder. No one can change who you are, and you're always going to be you. And I think that I've seen, to a certain extent, some influence that I didn't like.
Everybody beating up on you, you get tired, and that's how it is for me. For the past 6 years, I've been having so many people beating up on me, so many people saying so many negative things about me, and I'm like, I'm not that person who wants to fight or who want to curse people out. I like to have a good time. I like to have fun. That's me. But why do people keep coming for me? It took me through a season of depression for real. I was really sad and hurt, and I felt alone, and I felt I'm fighting by myself.
If someone's talking bad about you that you can't control, you don't have to read it. You don't have to go there. You don't have to do that.
I think that navigating your marriage in the public eye is difficult.
I think my biggest frustration right now is he believes I love her. Then why do you only listen to my words when you hear someone else say them? I can say something, and until something some pastor on the internet says it, it's not true. So you think?
You know why Marcel, I'm gonna tell you why. Because when a woman is not even just in love, but she needs you to hear her. She told you. She's talking about social media and people saying stuff, but the key word was to you, she feel alone. If you're in a marriage and you feel alone and you have a spouse, you have a husband who's supposed to be your partner that you're supposed to be able to go to and have a conversation, and you're not able to have that conversation, there's a disconnect. So even though you guys are decided to stay together and decided to want to work on your marriage, I'm going to tell you, Marceau, if you want to keep your marriage, you're going to have to connect on a deeper level with your wife. Tisha, when she talks to you, you can see the sadness still in her eyes. You can see it. Tisha, you are a beautiful woman. You are educated. You are sophisticated. Regardless of what anyone states, you matter. You matter, Tisha. And at the end of the day, if you hear this, what you need to do is say to yourself and talk to God. And if you are still feeling loneliness, because, as a woman, we all go through that sometimes. We may not want to talk about it, but we do. And I'm quite sure it's 10 times harder for you because you are in the public eye. So I'm proud of you for you making that step to state that and say on camera that this was one of the hardest years for you. Now, I know some other things happen, with your family, you're losing lost ones, and my condolences. So I'm just glad that you're navigating through those things, and I'm glad that you're able to say in front of him and you looked at him in his eyes and let him know in a roundabout way that you need him to check in. You need him to do that. And Marceau, it's good that you are there, but you need to check in. And sometimes, I know you joke, you laugh, you have fun, but if I can look in your wife's eyes and I can tell she's not completely whole, then you can see it as well. And it's really sweet for you to wipe her tears away and everything, but a lot of those tears have to do with you. So I'm gonna need you to step it up.
Think about that ring, that ring for real?
The band, not the ring, the band.
Same thing, T.
No, it's not. It's different. It's the band. I talked to Destiny just a few minutes ago. So I was just telling her, apologizing to her about the craziness that took place at her field day.
I'll probably apologize to her for my portion in it, but there's very few things in this world you have control over, and I have control over, but I can control my response. Mm-hmm. And that's true responsibility. So when Stormy was calling me a bitch, there's nothing I can personally do to stop someone from saying words.
You're right.
That's their mouth. They can do whatever they want to do. And it's up to me to make sure I can control my behavior. And so I'm apologize to Destiny too, because while it was funny to me, I think that I should have handled it better. But I don't know, man. It wasn't screaming BDE though.
You're not that low, and you can't stoop yourself to get to that level. And with someone that would go so low and just say any and everything just to pull you down to them, you got to be like, dude, I can't do that.
In general, in life, when people say, when they go low, I'll go lower, it ain't a flex. Truth is, I got to be accountable. But I realized in that moment that there's nothing I can personally do.
Mm-mm.
Martell's been a loose cannon. We don't have the relationship with Martell to be able to hold him accountable. Martell doesn't hang around us as much. Then we lose that relationship. We lose that respect. And in losing that respect, we lose our ability to influence each other. You realize the kind of person that, honestly, for me, Martell is that if you do this to the mother of your children, there's no telling what you do to me. There's no telling what you do to other people.
Yeah.
So it is what it is for me.
Well, first of all, Marcel, First of all, Marcel, it shouldn't have taken this long for you to understand that. But the problem is that there's no respect between you, Martell, and Maurice. And I'm gonna leave Chris out of it for a minute. There's no respect because the point of you giving funds to Arion and covering for Martell and all that stuff, the respect is gone. He would never respect your marriage because you didn't respect his marriage, and vice versa. It was only going to be a matter of time for Martell to really just put your business out there. You guys never had respect for each other because I seen it, and I'm quite sure other people seen it in maybe the first season, that Martell really didn't trust you with Melody. I could tell, and maybe it could be because of the fact that he was out doing what he was doing. But at the end of the day, it's like you can never put something ironclad on your own marriage when you out helping somebody destroy their marriage as well. And that's just my take on that. I'm not going to go in too deep because you guys know exactly what you know what you do. But so Chris, I'm not going in order, but Chris and Martell, Chris and Marceau, they had a not really sit down, but Marceau was at one of his locations and Chris Fletcher pulled up, and the rest goes from there. You know how they set these scenes up. So anywho, let me go ahead and get it started for you guys can see it.
And I'm trying to figure out, like, how? Why? Is it really because of the interview you did?
Listen, Fletch, I don't know. Your boy Martell's been running off at the mouth and he says anything that he wants to say about anybody that he wants to say it about.
I'm not lying about the things that I said about him. If he tried to say that I'm a liar, which I haven't lied about anything.
Thank you, love.
I'm going to prove the fact that I'm not a liar. But then he need to prove to me that he's not a liar because he's lying about a lot of the stuff that he mentioned.
Do you feel like the revenge situation? Like, do you feel like that was a trigger for you?
Or no, that wasn't a trigger for me. It wasn't about the charges at all because again, it's like it's a misunderstanding. He don't know the truth. But my thing is, when I told you the truth, how can you still say like you don't believe me? You see the charge. That bothered me to the core. Because again, I'm asking you, like, what did I do wrong to you?
You and Martell are cool, right?
Yeah.
Every now and then he likes to call your wife a side chick. Right?
Yeah, I don't play the
Yeah, but he continues to do it.
You were married and you met Nell and y'all kind of...
And my wife ain't no side chick, so
she ain't Nell.
Don't call her. She never was, mother.
Yeah. I heard you was like...
No, I'm not.
Sorry.
No.
Then he says, oh, my bad, I won't do it, and blah, blah, blah. Then he does it again. My life isn't set up to have people in my life that just happen to do this.
If you got any love for Tisha, like, it's hard to sit there as a woman and watch her have to hear that.
Yeah, I know. So guess what?
She catching strays, missiles, everything else.
Yeah.
And I feel like you owe Tisha an apology.
I hated that they had to go there, but they're one. So if she's not telling him not to say certain things, like his gloves are off, my gloves are off too. And I know
you think she accepted certain things?
Of course. I mean, I don't know the dynamic of Marcel and Tisha, but Tisha, she accepts it.
Accepts what?
Whatever he does. Like, they had a relationship for 2-3 years. Like, and Tisha.
But she told me that it wasn't true.
Girl, I know it's true. Melody knows it's true. That's one incident. But it's like, that's how I know Tisha know. And Tisha up there trying to coach on what to say and what not to say. Listen.
So you saying they both trying to teach people how to respectfully cheat? Melody and Tisha?
Done.
Nah, I don't know if I believe that.
Hey, if I say it, believe it. What you mean? If I say it, believe it. Like, I'm down to stop all the negativity, but if he's not, I'm not either.
So are you saying that you and Martell relationship is done?
Oh, 100%. I'm not going to be his friend ever again. This is resolved in my book. I don't respect this man. I don't need the friendship from the man. I'm around people. I'm a black man in America. I'm comfortable being around people that mean me harm.
He can still stop by black.
Enjoy yourself, big fella.
Okay.
Martell and I add nothing to each other's lives.
Damn.
See, people are in your life for a reason. Some people are in this for a season. Some people are in it for a lifetime. And Martell and I ran our race. You know, we did what God asked us to do as far as be friends. And our season is up. There is no universe where Martell and I have the exchange that we had the other day. An apology comes from that. And then we're back to friends. Oh, he apologized. So now let's go get this relationship back. For what? There's no universe that I know of that will happen.
I'm not gonna be the bigger person.
It's really difficult to see if people are real friends, because if a person is needy, they'll act like they're your friend until they get something. And where are they now? I want to apologize to Marceau. If anything, I'm about to go even harder. He going low, so I'm gonna go lower. And like I told him, I'm not trying to fix things.
Clearly.
Marceau should not be trying to play me the way he's trying to play me.
Huh. So, you know what, Martell? You're like a kid. Hold on, guys. Martell, you're like a kid. You're like a kid. It's like, well, if he does it, then I'm going to do it. Listen, this is my thing. And this is to Destiny, first of all. Destiny, you need to be very careful. I know that you want to stay friends with Martell. But Martell is eventually going to cost you more than probably what he's worth. You really need to watch it, because I don't really know what you and Melody's relationship, if it was ever going to be that way anyway, but it seems like you really like t-shirts from what I can see. And, you know, and just you need to let Martell do his own dirty work. And I'm not stating that you guys set this up or whatever, but you're going to eventually have to withdraw yourself. He's sitting here telling you these things. He's talking about your friend saying that he's had relations with her. It's going to be a point that you're going to have to say, listen, we can be friends, but I don't want to be a part of any of this because I'm friends with both of you guys. You're going to have to draw the line. You know, listen, baby, you running a slippery slope. And Martell, who do you think you are, God? Talking about if I tell you, then you could believe it. No, that's not true. And I already knew it's finna get worse, because you probably gonna make some stuff up allegedly, but whatever you really got, you gonna bring it out. And don't pretend and act like you got really, really upset because he said something about Ariane, whatever you call her name. Don't get upset. You trying to act like, oh, you really upset and everything. Okay, but this is when Melody had a conversation. She was doing her rounds, and she, you know, has a conversation with she meets up with Tisha. So Melody is so funny. I'm gonna let you guys hear this. So for you guys can Melody is funny, but here she goes.
The Scots in social media.
About what? Who? What Scots?
Maurice got a DUI, WI or DUI, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the hot news right now.
Yeah. We was like happy that it wasn't worse. You know what I'm saying? We're happy that he was safe and nobody was hurt. He wasn't hurt and nobody else was hurt. That was the most important part.
Tisha, you see like that? You see this right here, how you're talking?
Don't
That
do
sounds
that.
amazing.
Don't do that.
No, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
How amazing would it have been if after it all happened, that type of dialogue happened? You know what?
We said that to him.
Our relative could have been dead and gone, because I lost my grandmother to a drunk driver. So, hey, our relative could have been dead and gone. We're just happy he's here and he's not hurt and he didn't hurt anybody else. Instead, it was, oh, free Reese, get the ball, free Reese. It was a whole, yes.
It was free Reese.
It was
that's for
embarrassing.
Sure.
And I didn't see
Sure
you in
he
the
was
live,
embarrassed
but I saw
about
them. He should have did what you
so.
just did. Hey, this is what you don't do.
Yeah.
But instead, the immediate thing was to go back to the very thing that could have just took your life. I said, man, he may not come at me with no other MLK speech. He can't talk to me about it. I'm telling you that right now. He can't talk to me about it. He can't tell me nothing, give me no ideas.
We've all made mistakes. We cannot hold each other. Like, you make a mistake, you learn, and you grow from it.
Getting behind a wheel while you know you're intoxicated is not a mistake. That's a choice.
But
secondly,
I feel like he's learned his lesson.
The response after that, a bottle in your hand. Oh, live. Yes, ma'am.
Well, Mel has a really strong opinion about Maurice's DUI. And being that this has had an effect on her life, dealing with her grandmother, I can understand where she's coming from with this. I would like to say that.
Wait a minute, y'all. Did y'all see how Tisha was drawing on that straw? Like she was sipping for some scissors. Sipping. Anywho, I am so sorry. But it was the way she drew on that straw when Mel say, that you didn't see that bottle when he was on live.
The situation with Maurice and the DUI is nobody else's business, but in this group, everything is everybody else's business.
When Kimmy and I got together, I kind of checked in with her because I, as a woman, I know whenever your husband embarrasses you, what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then with everything else she's had going on, I was just like, I'm checking on all caps you.
Yeah. Oh, she was like, he embarrassed himself, not me.
She said she was out grocery shopping. That, but no, girl, nah, trust me, trust me. It affects everybody. And then did you see that they say he had red lipstick on his lips? Did you see that?
I believe that's some extra stuff.
Did you see the mugshot? He had red stuff on his lips.
Was it a drink? If it was a drink.
Girl, stop, Tisha. I've been out with Tisha.
I don't believe her. I don't believe
so now we got red
lipstick. I don't believe that.
Tisha, stop it.
I don't. I know Marie. Ain't no red lipstick out here. People be lying.
You see the red?
No.
You don't see the red, then you colorblind.
This the mugshot.
Not that. Girl, you don't stop playing with me, Tisha. You see that in the middle. Tisha put under his lips is what I said.
Yeah, that's how he was drinking. Seriously, Maurice, this look like pink lips to me.
You don't think that it looks like what?
It looks like pink lips to me.
Pink lips?
Mel, I don't see any red lipstick on Maurice's shirt nor Maurice's lip. Like, let's not do that. Let's not try to insinuate something else. Come on, Mel. Let's not do that.
Tisha.
I don't see no red lip.
Tisha.
That's when he was drinking. I think people just reading into it.
Okay, girl. Or either you looking past and turn the blind eye. Either people reading into it or you turning a blind eye.
Exactly.
I'm about to go. Was it true that he got, it was noon?
Investigator Mel.
Well, y'all been investigating my life the past 7
No, we don't. You volunteer everything.
No, y'all be asking questions.
You tell it all. Thank you for inviting me. This
y'all
was
be
fun.
asking questions. I think that all of them probably have made a pact, which is what you do when you have family in a group, right? We ain't gonna talk about it. I think they've made that pact with each other. So she doesn't want to look like she broke the pact.
Thank you for my dinner for me and my husband.
Did you hear it was around the for your food,
forever she got us.
No, forever.
She got both of us. She got both of us.
She running out with the food. Y'all better get her. It's called security. She did not pay for this check. Maurice, I've been seeing.
You know what? Mel says she is not here for it. Mel say she what? Till say you saw how quick she getting out of there with that plate. She was getting out of there with that plate till I was like, but listen, Mel she was quick with it. Mel was on, and Mel said that she was making her rounds. Mel said she was making her rounds, but baby, when I tell you, you think Tisha's was bad, wait until we get to the other ones. Mel says she's the Inspector Gadget, private investigator, and all those things, baby, because y'all done played on her top too long. She said y'all done played on her top too long. So we're just going to go ahead and keep this thing moving, and we're going to go to the next one. So that's what we finna do. We're going to go ahead and go to the next one because Mel said y'all are not going to play on
Like, what was your motive?
This is
What
her.
was the motive behind what?
Saying that I went to his house.
Did you think it was awkward though whenever you were invited to come train at his house and you ain't know him?
Hold on. I just want to take that. Hold on. I want you to take.
One, I had to ask Martell, like, what was your motive?
What was the motive behind what?
Saying that I went to his house.
Did you think it was awkward though whenever you were invited to come train at his house and you ain't know him? Was that awkward then?
I can say I didn't know him. I knew of him because I grew up with his. We both went to school and stuff together. And then my sister went to Butler with him too.
But you didn't know. You knew of him.
Yeah, I mean, I know people's house all the time. I still do.
Training?
Yeah.
So what year did you go train him at his house?
2020.
2020? What month?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Oh.
Trisha initially lying about going to Martell's house or clubhouse or then back to the house to train or not train. Does it make her untrustworthy? Yeah. Does it make her seem like a liar? Yeah. Let's try to get her to be a little honest. And she likes to be a little on the line of honesty and dishonesty.
Which house did you go to? Because I can probably tell you.
I want to say it was a big one.
Like which area, location?
It was up the mountains.
Off what road?
Dang, I don't know.
How was the driveway? There you go.
It was a typical driveway.
No, ain't no typical driveways on the mountains. They all got a lot going on.
I didn't think just how the driveway was. Was the house white?
Okay, one of them was lighter than the other.
It was light. It was light.
Both of them light though, but one of them is kind of more white looking. Okay, so yeah, that was the house I left when I left him in April. And then that house, I filmed behind every man in that house in like maybe July, August-ish. And then he was out of that house around the fall, September-ish.
It was fall. It was chilly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too late in the fall though, because we would have had to have been there between April and August of 2020.
It was chilly outside. It was chilly outside.
Oh, that was about when that one was out of that one that you're saying that was white. Was around August.
I was saying no, it was chilly outside.
Might have been the other.
She's failing miserably right now. I don't even know if she knows where she went. It's clearly something that she's not wanting to come out, that she's scared to give facts on because she don't want it to come out. And I'm saying, just let it come out.
Yeah, it was, whatever it was cold out. It was a little chilly outside.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Were you and Ken talking at the time?
No, he came much later.
You ain't really ate none of your food, girl. I'm glad I ain't ordered none on guess because I don't think you feeling your food too much.
It doesn't matter one way or the other to me why she went or what she did while she was there, because obviously I was gone. But you know what? Trisha definitely had an ample amount of time, if she wanted to, to pull me to the side. Hey, girl, let me let you know what's being said. I don't want anything to catch you off guard. But let's be clear. If she's anything like the people that she tends to hang around in this group, girl code is non-existent. That's too big of an ask in this group.
So let me ask you something. Before or when I invited you to come on the trip, right?
Yes.
Had these conversations already happened in terms of training at the house or not? Had y'all already had them conversations?
Before the trip?
Before the trip.
Conversation with who?
Like you're saying that my ex, Martell, had mentioned you come to the house but you didn't know the motive and you were wondering how is it being said a certain way, like don't make it seem a certain way. So had that happened before I invited you on the trip?
Yeah.
So you knew this possible narrative was being put out there before the trip?
Yeah.
So did you ever feel like, hey, she invited me on this trip, I accepted the invitation, let me pour this out and let her know though?
For one, I had to ask Martell, like, what was your motive?
What was the motive behind what?
Saying that I went to his house.
Did you think it was awkward though whenever you were invited?
I'm gonna go back and take the music out, but I wanted y'all to hear the music. Production is so, production is awful. They was building it up. And let me see here, baby. You said, Tia said, if she hadn't taken a bite, she probably would have choked. Yes, baby. At first, I didn't know what Melody was doing, but as Melody was asking her, it was like, I said, oh my God. I said, baby, y'all gonna eat this up when you see it. Melody is no joke, baby. You may say a lot, yeah, they may say a lot of things about her, but baby, she was on her PI journey. She was going around. She was going around. For me, at the end of the day, Trish, and from what I can see on the next episodes that are coming up, Trish, baby, if I were you, I don't know, Trish. If I were you, I don't know. I think I would and I'm sorry guys, I'm my sinuses and everything. But Trish, if I were you, I think that I would go ahead and just come clean. Come clean. And they don't show it on here, but I have my notes. Do you know that Trish stating that she's still, Melody was like, oh, you still training him now? She's like, girl, what? She is, let me tell you something. Trish got all them women on their beat because Trish girl code don't even go with her. And I'm so sorry I sound so nasally because my sinuses are messing up. But let me tell you, girl code don't go when it comes to Trish. And my biggest thing is that for me, I'm glad Melody came. Melody came with her notes. She had already had the dates and everything down because the biggest thing that they didn't show on here that they showed on the show, Melody asked her, did you know all of this before you said that you would go on this girls trip with me? And she was like, oh, what do you mean when? She was playing semantics. And I'm sorry, my nose, I cannot talk. I was like, I'm talking out of my nose. But Melody grilled her more than that. It's just not showing on here. She grilled her more than that. But the thing about it is, Melody doesn't care about the situation if you dealt with Martell or not. Melody, just like Melody said on the show, and when she was sitting down and doing her one-on-one, her thing was, you knew all of this, but you was in my face. You was in my face. Exactly. Wave the white flag and exit stage left here. She has proven herself to be a liar. She lied. For me, allegedly, I feel she lied to Ken too. She don't want to marry him. And like you said, she deserves, yeah, that music was off the chain. Because I have something else I wanted, because I wanted you guys to see, just bear with me. I wanted you guys to see what's going to be coming up on the next episode. And I know that they weren't gonna let me do it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And if I get a ding, it don't matter, because I want y'all to see what's coming up on the next episode. And it's really crazy. Hold on a minute. I am going to pull it up because I had recorded it because I was busy last night and I didn't see, but I wanted you guys to see. Let me see if I go to the end. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. I want you to see this. They're probably gonna get me. I don't care.